All right, you guys, what's up? Welcome back to our weekly live feed. As you're logging on, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the fun things. And right there, if you would like to come work with me and get yourself a suit, that QR code right up there in the corner will get you there. That is a QR code to take you to a free suit consultation right there. If you're logging on Instagram, we are live on YouTube as well. YouTube will be a better experience for you because you're going to get screen shares with pictures and all that fun stuff. If you want to watch on Instagram, you can. It's just better when you're over on YouTube. So if you're logging on YouTube, say hello, comment in, let me know that you're here, tell me where you're from. And this is going to be an interesting weekend. What's up? Welcome from Orlando. What's up? We always give it a few minutes for everybody to get on and get settled and get logged in, and then we roll through it. What's up from Detroit, Tampa? Awesome. And while we're waiting for people to log on here too, let's see what else we got. So we got our partners showing up now for us here on YouTube. If you have not done so yet and you need to book competition tan, get your liquid Sun Rayz. Where we at? We got Aloha from Hawaii. I love it. From Canada, yes. So if you need the best, darkest, deepest tan for your show day experience, Liquid Sun Rayz is for you. Right there's their QR code. Their link is also in the description box here on YouTube, as well as my code, which is Cuties15. So that will get you discount on their site on booking anything that they have on their site. So that is one of our YouTube partners. The other YouTube partner that we have, what's up? We got Mississippi, Texas, we got Scottsdale, Phoenix, Boston, Wisconsin, New Mexico. Love it. All over the place. And our newest partner is Prozis. They are an amazing, huge supplement nutrition company out of Portugal. And for them, they've got everything you possibly need as far as sports supplements are concerned, clothing, equipment, everything, the whole 9 yards right there. So that is your QR code for them. Our code for Prozis is Cuties10. And then also, one more thing, they have an extra special going on right now where if you purchase any of their bars or their vitamins and minerals, you get extra percentages off when you use the code Cuties10. So again, that link is in the description box, or you can scan this QR code right here. I'm going to get rid of the QR code so that you can see the discount code. There's your discount code right there, Cuties10. And that gets you money off. If you've not tried any of their stuff before, you need to. I know a few of my coaching clients have now started eating their products and really love them. I haven't had anything that I don't like, to be honest with you. So check them out. They have protein stuff and they have just regular healthier treats. And I was mentioning from the last live feed, it's almost like they have less preservatives and stuff in their food because they have more restrictions as far as what they can put and what they can't in their supplements and in their food. So give them a try if you haven't yet. All right. Now it is time to start talking about the show, because this is going to be a crazy show, you guys. This is going to be a crazy show. All right, let me get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of our QR code as well. All these QR codes that I put up in the first, few minutes of the live feed, all the links are also in the description box. If you ever can't get back to them or don't know where they went, that's where they are. They're in the description box here on YouTube. So the Kit Kats, I told you, yes, you see, the zero break is what they are. I think that's what they're called. It's like a healthier version of Kit Kat, which for me, personally, when it comes to candy bars, Kit Kats and Twix bars are my favorites. So I'm very happy with the zero break because they're just a healthier version of Kit Kats. So check them out, try them out. Okay. Are we ready, you guys? Are we ready for this? Because this is probably the most competitive show that I have ever seen outside of the Olympia. It's just ridiculous. This is freaking ridiculous as far as this lineup is concerned. Take a look at this lineup right here. Okay. How many Olympians do we have in this lineup? How many Olympians? Plus people that have been placing top fives all year too, right? I think there's 22 athletes altogether. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Olympians on this list, either that have been in the Olympia in the past or are qualified for this year's Olympia. 14 out of 22. This is bonkers. I don't know if I've ever seen a show with this many Olympia qualified athletes in one place at one time. I don't know if I've ever seen this before, other than the Olympia itself. Like even the Arnold, because the Arnold's only 10 girls. So even if the Arnold has all Olympia qualified athletes, it's still not as deep as this particular show is. Like, this is crazy, you guys. So it's like, it'd be easier to talk about the girls on this list that are not Olympians than it is to talk about the girls that are. So just looking at this list really quickly, we haven't looked at any of the names or anything like that. Who sticks out to you? Who are your top 5 or maybe your top 3? Type into the box before we even talk about them. Before we even go into, what these girls have done and things like that and where they're standing. What are your thoughts? Type into the comments. Tell me what you think. Just as a little background while we're waiting. I go to Pittsburgh every year because it's right up the street from me, right? I go to Pittsburgh actually for all of the shows that are in Pittsburgh, basically, because it's only a 3-4 hour drive, depending on traffic. So I go to Pittsburgh every single year. I've gone to Pittsburgh every year for like 10 years at least. And I'm telling you, I've never seen one that's more competitive than this one right here, right? So to be perfectly honest with you, though we have frontrunners, obviously, this is so competitive that it could really flip-flop. It could really flip-flop quite a bit. Last year, our top 2 in this particular show were Amy and Ashley. Amy did win it. So Amy and Ashley obviously are already qualified for the Olympia. Amy beat Ashley here, but then Ashley beat Amy at the Olympia itself. So this is really anyone's game, right? Because Amy's coming in off of wins and so is Ashley. So if I was going on numbers alone and I was going on stats alone, it would be very hard to pick between the two of them because, obviously Ashley's got the most wins possible ever, but Amy's got how many in a row at this point now? I don't even know how many in a row she has. It's like probably 6 or 7 wins in a row other than the Olympia and the Arnold, right? When you're talking just outside of those top 2 shows. So this is going to be incredibly competitive. Plus, we have Vanya in there who just won the UK Arnold. And we have Ariana in there who's a top 10 Olympian, right? So like there's some serious competition at this show. Okay. It is a 2-day show. However, the bikini women are all on Friday. So the only division that actually competes both days is men's physique. So I think men's physique has prejudging at finals on Friday and then finals at finals on Saturday. I think that's how it goes with men's physique. I don't really know. But the other thing too, I was looking on the site and I may have missed this. Does anybody know if they have a live stream? I'm going to look real quick because I looked and I didn't see it, but I'd only looked really quickly. So let me see something. Because if they don't have a live stream, then I will go live while I'm there. I'm looking now to see if by chance they have anything up here. Tickets, venue, hotel, check-in, schedule, posing. Yeah, there was last year, but a lot of these shows are taking the live streams out because they're just not profitable. And I don't see anything on here about live stream yet. I still don't see anything on here about a live stream. So that's what I say. Like if they don't have a live stream, then I'll go live, right? Because obviously I'll be able to. And if I go live, it'll be from my YouTube channel. I'll do it right directly from my YouTube channel, just like I did for Charlotte. So be paying attention. If they do have a live stream, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my Spotify again. So if you're not on my Spotify, that link is also in the description box on my YouTube. So subscribe to that. Just stay in the loop. I tend to, when I'm at shows, I tend to update on my Insta stories as far as what I'm doing and where I'm going and what I'm going to be actually, broadcasting. Again, if they've got a live stream, I'm not allowed to go live. You know what I mean? But if they don't, then I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll do it right straight from the YouTube channel. Okay. So be paying attention to that stuff. I'll get clarification on that in the next day or so. I'm going up on Thursday, so I'll be there for the whole show till Sunday. We have our own ladies doing it. We have a few pros. We have NPC. So it's going to be a fun weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend. We've got some really good, really competitive girls. So I'm crossing my fingers. But let's go through this. So like I said, pay attention. I will one way or another get you guys coverage. Okay. So if I can't go live, I'll do it on Spotify. That's what I did last year. If I can go live, it'll be here on YouTube. Okay. So let's go to our ladies to be paying attention to. Okay. So first, what did I just do? First on our list with that is, as you can see across here, I've got all these tabs up. These are all the girls to be watching for this show. Okay. So it's a little crazy. So we got Maria Acosta. Okay. She is definitely one to be paying attention to. She just took second in Charlotte and she tends to be in the top call outs. Last year, I don't think she did Pittsburgh. I know she did New York. I remember New York. She didn't do Pittsburgh last year. But in New York, even in New York, she did a place in seventh. She was in first call out. So she's always one of those girls that's kind of unassuming and could very easily come out and kind of, knock some people out, that kind of deal. So yeah, unfortunately, sometimes NPC News has a ton of traffic at one time, and that's what happens when it goes down sometimes. But so far, so good right now. She's got her eyes closed in this one. There we go. Well, let's go here because even though her eyes are closed, this is her full front pose. So her feedback at this last show is they wanted to see some more upper outer glute and projection on her glutes, but that she was really well balanced and she had an overall really great look. So if she comes in with some fullness in her glutes, then she could be up in that top. She could easily be up in that top. You know what I mean? So this is definitely a girl to be watching. She's one of the tinier girls on stage, but she's really, really well balanced from top to bottom. So when I saw her last year, what I would always see is that when she came out for like first looks, she would look great. And then by the time she got to her individual and then call outs, by that time she'd gotten a little bit flat. So she's got more muscle this year, so they can fill her out a little bit more. So hopefully she can hold that, especially when you got these bigger lineups. When you got bigger lineups, it can be a half hour before you actually get on stage for comparisons after you've done your individual. And she's at the beginning of the lineup, so she's going to be on, and then it's going to be a half an hour between those, those 22 other girls going on stage. So that's a long time, and you can lose your pump. Real easy can lose your pump, right? So she's definitely one to be paying attention to, though, and she could easily get up into that top call out here. So that's first. Next, we have Maya, who Maya has been competing all year already. And again, she's been in first call out every single show pretty much. Top 10-ish, top 5-ish every single time that she's on stage, and she's just been getting better. So this was girl power. And I do think so far this has been her best package yet. She fixed some posing things, opened up a little bit more. Her conditioning to me was right on. So again, she's another one that even though she hasn't won a show yet, she is a previous Olympian, and she could easily jump in and get into that top 5, top 3, somewhere in there if all the stars align. You know what I mean? So definitely pay attention to Maya as well. Next, we have Vanya. So we don't have any photos up on NPC News Online from the UK Arnold. This is from the Arnold. This is from the Olympia. She already won. She won the UK Arnold. So I'm looking to see if she's got a front pose here, fully posed. So she is qualified for the Olympia. Okay, so she's already qualified. Of the girls here at this particular show, she's one of the few that is already qualified for this coming year. She brought a better package even than what you see here at the Olympia when she came to the Arnold. That's really what got her kind of noticed. And then, like I said, coming into Arnold UK, she did win that title. And to me, the reason why she won it is just her glutes were the best glutes up on the stage, to be honest. So she had the best projection, all of that kind of stuff, the fullness, the conditioning on point. She's had a few weeks off. That's a good little rest for you. She comes in looking nice and full and round. Absolutely could be up in that top call out again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she was top call out at last year's Pittsburgh as well. What was her placing at last year's Pittsburgh? Let's see. Well, I thought she was in it. Where is this it? 2020. No, that's 2022. This is 2023. My bad. Here we go. 4th. So she was 4th in Pittsburgh last year. So she was the top call out in Pittsburgh last year. So she's definitely one to be watching here, especially coming off of a top call out last year. Okay. Next, we have Yulia. So Yulia's coming in and doing this show this week. We changed quite a few things with Yulia's overall look, presentation, posing, all of that stuff going into the show. So we took her feedback from this particular show, and she is going to be an amplified version of her coming into this weekend. She is looking phenomenal. One of the things with Yulia is that once she gets in shape, her conditioning can go razor sharp if she's not careful. She's been filling out ever since Girl Clash, and she just looks really, really nice and round and full everywhere. She looks very, very good. So again, with her back shot, I feel like she could be up in that top call out easily, top 3 easily. So let's see where she lands, because she's looking really, really good right now. So she's very, very full. She's very, very full right now. And her waistline's tight. And we've amped up a few of her things as far as presentation is concerned. So you'll have to see if you can see that when she gets on stage here at the show this coming weekend. Let's see. Next up, we have Ariana. So Ariana Brothers, she is not currently qualified for the Olympia this year. This was Atlantic States. This was right after the cutoff from last year. So she came in second. I'm looking to see if I can get a full front pose. She really broke onto the scene this past year. And where I saw her first was Tampa, where she came in second in Tampa. And immediately it was one of those girls that was like, where did this girl come from? Like, she's just got that it factor. Up and down has the it factor. So she ended up top 10 at the Olympia her first year. So Ariana didn't win this show, though. So I don't think she's qualified. Am I wrong? Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. This is a different show. Which one was I thinking? Oh, I was thinking about Hurricane. That's my bad. That's why I was like, what is going on? You're right. So this is Atlantic Coast. Okay. And then Hurricane's where she came in second. Got it. Now I'm remembering where my timeline is. All right. So she is qualified for the Olympia. I take that back. So with that said, she's coming into this already qualified. You know, her goal, I'm sure, at this year's Olympia is to work her way up and get probably top 5 versus top 10. You know, that's what everybody wants to do. They want to work their way up at the finals, that kind of deal. So in order to do that, she's got to put herself up against people like Amy and like Ashley, who have done that in the past. So I'm sure she wants to get noticed. If she was to be able to leapfrog over them, this would be huge for her. Right? And it's absolutely possible. Like I said, anything is possible at this show, especially with how deep it is. Anything is possible at this show. So she's definitely one to be watching too. All right. Who do we got next? We got Amy. So Amy won this show last year. Okay, so she's your defending champ. She is Olympia qualified. She has won 2 shows already this year. I'm sorry, 2 shows, 3 shows, 2 shows. Yeah, she's won 2 shows this year. Placed top 2 at the Arnold. So she's on a tear. You know what I mean? She really hasn't had to do much other than just kind of work with what she's got and see what the judges like the best. That's a really good place to be in. She doesn't need to win this show. She wants to, clearly, because this is, obviously defending her title, and it's a big title and all that kind of stuff. So I would say she's definitely one of your front runners for the top 1 or 2 spots. So that is for sure somebody to be paying attention to if you didn't know that already, which I think y'all did. Let's see. Next up, we have Alessia. So I was a little bit surprised actually to see Alessia on the docket here. Last time she competed was in Taiwan, and she took 4th. I haven't even looked at any of these photos. Let me see if I can get to. Whenever you do these Asian shows, they take up bazillion photos. So I'm trying to get to just a basic front pose here. So the thing with Alessia is she's a previous Olympian. I don't even know how many Olympias she's been to, quite a few. She always tends to win a show. She's from Italy. She tends to come in very lean, though. So she doesn't have the best shape when we're talking about, waistline versus fullness of her glutes and things like that. So she kind of tends to get exposed when she's up against these fuller, rounder physiques with better shapes, like we're talking about with Ashley, Amy, and things like that. So should this be one of the girls that's going to be in the top? I don't know. She's been off stage for a while, right? She's been off stage since Taiwan. If I had to guess, I'm guessing she's probably not going to be in the top 5. She may be in your second call out. But this is just based on her previous looks, and who knows, maybe she's going to come back fuller and completely change my mind. We haven't seen that yet, so we'll see. This is her first shot out of the gate, though, other than Taiwan this year. So she's one to be paying attention to as well. Let's see. And we've got Valeria. So this is another one. So she is another European competitor. She did make it to the Olympia. She qualified last year, but she didn't go. So for those of you that weren't around for all that, there was a whole bunch of drama with that situation. She decided not to go to the Olympia because she felt like she couldn't place higher than like she wanted to. So she just denied the invite, even though she had 1 shows to be able to go. So this will be her first show back in a while, since the beginning of last year's pro circuit. She did compete in Pittsburgh last year, and I believe she was second call out of Pittsburgh last year. But she hasn't really been on stage. I believe she's qualified. See, the actual contest history for her here on NPC News is limited. I'm guessing they probably spell their name differently. But anyway, she hasn't been on stage in a while. She's got a new coach. She, has a phenomenal look, but she's got to conform a little bit more to the U.S. standards. We've talked about this before. European criteria and standards tends to be a little bit off from what they reward here in the States. So if she was able to change a little bit of that, change her fullness, change her posing, her presentation, things like that, she could definitely be one to be paying attention to here. We'll see. I'm curious to see what she looks like. I've always thought she looks phenomenal. However, she has a tendency to come in too lean, too hard, and she just kind of does her own thing and all of that. So yeah, I think I'm pretty sure she's won a couple of shows already, if not at least one, if not more, in Europe. And she did. She kept competing over there versus coming here to the US. It was a big controversy thing. So she is qualified. But like I said, I think they just don't have her name spelled right on NPC News. So but that said, I'm curious to see what she looks like when she gets here. If she looks any different, preview shots are one thing, Instagram shots are one thing, getting them on stage is completely another. So she's got huge potential. Let's see if she's getting any closer to it. Right. But she's definitely one to be paying attention to for sure. So. Yeah, she was qualified for last year. Yeah, I mentioned she's got a new coach as well. So she was qualified last year. She didn't compete. She's qualified for this year as well. So, okay. Next up, we have Brittany. So Brittany is qualified. She just qualified at Charlotte. Here we go. Okay. She qualified at Charlotte, so she took first there. That was her first win. And their feedback for her there was really having to do with her glam and just kind of bumping up her presentation level a little bit. And they wanted to see her next to some top Olympians. So, yes, correct. She is qualified for 2024. Yes. So Brittany really right now is just trying to see where she stacks up next to these, upper level pros, the higher in the placings kind of pros. So depending on what she looks like next to them, she'll know what she needs to do in order to have a better shot when she actually gets to the Olympia, right? Let me see if I can find a good front pose for her before we X out of this. Here's a good front pose right here. I am curious to see what she changes going into the show. Like I said, her feedback was her glam needed some work. Then she has to be careful of her balance with her shoulders and her glutes and things like that. She's got a teeny tiny little waistline and all of that. So I'm curious to see how she looks with a few little tweaks based on her feedback, right? So definitely be watching her as well. Next up, we have Tara. So Tara is not currently qualified. She's gotten very close. She took second here at this particular show in San Diego. She took second at the UK Arnold as well. The look that she's bringing to the stage this year is probably the best look I've seen on her so far. She's worked on getting her waist to come down a little bit. She's got to fill her upper outer glutes out a little. Her posing is a little bit broad, like as far as her upper body opening up, but I believe they're doing that in order to make her waistline look smaller. So, this always goes back to, yes, there's criteria, and the S frame, the S curve is what we're looking for. But depending on your frame, going a little bit wider may be the right solution. And for her, I think this was the right solution for her because it just made her waistline smaller. So, I don't think that everybody fits into a perfect little criteria box. And I think what she's been doing as far as improving her overall look has absolutely been working. So I'm curious to see how she looks in this group. Where I think she might get into trouble in this particular group is that they all have really full glutes. And that's kind of where she lacks a little bit. She's got great glute shape. It's just the fullness and projection of them. So I'm curious to see what she's done in the last few weeks in order to improve that. And if she's gonna be able to stack up these big old glutes like Ashley's and Amy's, right? So let's see. Next, we have Brittany. So Brittany is coming in off of a second place at Wasatch. We did review her placement and all that kind of stuff too when we talked about Wasatch. This was an improved look for Brittany versus last year. However, she is quite top heavy. And I know coming out of it, she talked about her feedback being that she has too much shoulder, too much width at the top, that kind of thing. And that she's been working on her posing to kind of bring that down. Her muscularity is pretty intense on her upper half. With that said, one of the things I mentioned is she is a taller girl, so she's got to be bigger anyway. That's one thing that we forget. It's like this is all in relation to how tall you are and your shape. Right. So for her frame, she does need to be a little bit more muscular, but where she's going to need to work is she's going to need to work on making this more of a bikini S frame versus having that broad top across with her chest or her shoulders and everything like that, so that she doesn't look too much like a shift into figure. And I'm sorry, I've got a dog hair stuck to my nose and it's driving me nuts. It's tickling me. So I'm like, get off me. But that said, she did do Pittsburgh last year as well. And I believe she was in first call out last year. She wasn't the top. She wasn't top 4, I don't think. Let's see. Where was she? Yeah, she was 8th. So she was in that first call out, but she was not in the top 4. So I'm sure she wants to come in and improve that this year. So she's one to be watching as well. Next. All right, I brought up Miss Shanika because she is one of our cuties as well. So we've got Yulia and Shanika both competing in this show. So I wanted to give her a little shout out like I always do. I give my ladies shout outs because it's my channel and I'm allowed to do that. So so I want to give Shanika a shout out too. She's coming in and swimming with the big dogs. So gotta love that. Put yourself up to the challenge. So good luck to her as well. All right, and then we've got Ashley. So obviously Ashley's going to be a front runner, right? So she just is coming in off of a win at Girl Power. We just talked about this, how her feedback at Girl Power was she needed to come in tighter, leaner than what she did at Girl Power, which I agree with for her frame. As we mentioned on this wrap up, I actually don't have a problem with the softer look. It's just that's not what the particular criteria is right now. She needs to be a little bit leaner in order to be able to really pop everything. And she's going to need to do that in order to be next to girls like like Amy. So, Amy and Ashley going into the show, you would definitely say are your front runners. You know what I mean? So, they both got very impressive stats across the board. So it's going to be a matter of who comes in at their best this particular show, who's going to take the title home. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Ashley's bottoms. I've mentioned that several times before. She wears the T-back bottom, and I just think that there's more flattering cuts than that. Next one, we've got India Paulino is coming back. So India has won the Pittsburgh Pro in the past. I don't remember which year it was. Let's go click through her years really quickly. New York, Pittsburgh. Here it is right here. 2012, she won it. Want to see this? Let's do a flashback. Let's do a flashback to when she won it in 2012. The yellow suit, the India Paulino yellow suit. This was Bikini in 2012. Ready for this? This is how she won that show. There you go. Just take a moment to view that for you right there. This is how far Bikini has come in the last 10, 11, 12 years, right? And she's still here. She's still competing. So I was actually surprised to see India on the list. She hasn't competed at all this year. So I don't know if I've just not paid attention. I didn't even realize she was in prep. I didn't know if she was going to continue to compete or if she was done or anything like that. This was Tampa last year. There we go. So this was her last showing. And she took fourth here. She did not qualify for the Olympia last year. Okay. The only big show that India has not won is the Olympia. She's won the Arnold. She's won the Arnold UK. She won the Arnold, or not, sorry, not the Arnold UK, the Arnold Australia. She's won all of these big titles, but she has never won an Olympia. I think she placed fourth here. That kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what she's done in this off season since Tampa to improve her look. In general, it's her waistline's a little thick in comparison to the other girls, that kind of thing. She's got a little bit more muscle than the other girls do. So I'm curious to see what she's done in order to kind of streamline her physique and see what she looks like coming out. But she's definitely one to be paying attention to. You never want to discount India. Definitely not. So be paying attention to her too. And then we got Sharon. So I brought Sharon up. Sharon has not won a show, but this was her second show out, and this was Charlotte Pro. I mean, obviously I was there in person, and she was incredibly stunning coming out. She was one of those, like, who is this girl? I've never seen her before, and I want to know more about her kind of girls. I know since Charlotte, she's gone and gotten some posing help and presentation help. And all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious to see what she looks like coming into this show. I think with a little bit of better conditioning on her legs, and I think with some posing changes, some presentation changes, she's going to be incredibly competitive. Charlotte was very much a glute heavy show as well, and she fit right in there. So I think she's going to actually compare very, very well to your Ashleys and your Amy's. So I'm very interested to see what she looks like. She's one to be paying attention to as well, even though she's not won a show yet. I still wanted to pull her up anyway because she's got a very impressive look, and I think she's going to go far. She could be a breakout. She could be a breakout star. Alexandria Ross is another one. I was surprised to see her on the list as well. She didn't compete at all last year. Last time she was on stage was the Olympia in 2022. Her claim to fame is she won the Nationals, NPC Nationals, when she won her pro card. So I'm curious to see what she looks like. This particular Olympia, she didn't do great. I don't know. Did she place? I don't think she placed. Let me look at no, she didn't place at this year's Olympia. I think, was it 2016 she won her pro card? No. Must have been 2018. Looking for her. placing. It's Europa Phoenix, but I don't see her actual. She won the overall at nationals, but I'm looking at the list here and I don't see it. Anyway, regardless, she's been in the game for a while, but she hasn't been on stage in a while. So I am curious to see what she's going to look like when she gets on stage this year. Could be 1,000 times better. We don't know. We haven't seen her in a while. Again, there's a lot of people on this list that I was not expecting to see. Very, very competitive. Very, very competitive. And then last but not least, we have Allison Testu. So Allison has been competing at most of these shows the last few weeks, and she's been doing better. She's been kind of conforming to the U.S. standards versus European standards. She did a lot of improvements going into Girl Power versus Wasatch. So if she can continue to do that, continue to take her feedback and improve upon that, she could absolutely be one of these ones that you see in the top top 4, top 5, that kind of thing. So don't count her out. I definitely didn't see it coming when she came over from Europe, but she's been a good student and she's been changing things. And now she's one to be watching for sure. So Alexandria looked small. Yeah, Alexandria was small. That's how, last time she was on stage. So that's your girls to be watching. It's a big list, guys. It is a very big, very competitive show. Like I said, I'm shocked at how competitive this show is going to be. It's going to be ridiculous. So looking at the list, I think we probably can all agree that your top 2 are likely going to be your Amy and your Ashley, but I mean, anything can happen. Who do you think has the best opportunity here to come out and just surprise us? Who do you think has an opportunity to come out and surprise us here? Anybody that I didn't mention? I think I got everybody. I think I got everybody that's been like contenders, that kind of thing. Yeah, the pro show is going to be good. This pro show is going to be good. Type into the comments. Tell me if there's anyone on this list that to you is like, this could be our breakout star. This could be the one that we could be shocked about. Who do you think? And while we're waiting for everybody to come in, I'm gonna go ahead and put our coupon up too. There you go. Yeah, they're all gunning for bigger titles. The ones that you mentioned, yeah. Vanya, Ariana. I think that Valeria and Allison will likely be towards that first call out, like 8th, 7th, 8th, if I had to guess. But I don't think they're going to be in your top. I don't think that they're going to be in your top 4, top 5, because of the glute situation, right? So if I had to pick some people that are going to come out and they're going to shock some people, I think we're looking at people with big full glutes. So like Sharon could be one. Yulia could be one. India's got big, huge, full glutes. If she can bring her waistline in, she could absolutely be up in that top 2. Who else? Who else has glutes that could compare with Amy and with Ashley? I think Ariana or Vanya have a good chance of winning and surpass. I think Ariana has a good chance. I don't necessarily think that Vanya has the opportunity to surpass Amy and Ashley, and that's just based on, like, when we look at the Arnold, it was Amy in second and then Vanya in a pretty distinct third. So I don't think she has, and I could be wrong, but I don't think this particular show she's going to surpass them. I think she could be top 4. I think Vanya could be in top 4 for sure. I think Ariana could potentially surpass. I think that's definitely an opportunity for her. Yeah, and with Valeria, I don't see Valeria in the top 4. I don't see her in the top 4. First call out, yes, but we haven't seen her in a while. We haven't seen her here in the States either. So I don't know. I just don't know. She's a big time, like, question mark. She could end up being phenomenal when she gets on stage, Or she could just have a wah-wah moment too. We don't know. We haven't seen her. We haven't seen her here in the States in a while. She hasn't been here since this time last year. Right? So I do think that she, again, could be in the top call out. I just don't think she's going to be in your top 4 or top 5, right? And I'm looking at the list to see if there's anybody else that could be like a big shock. Well, you know what? Brittany could be up in that top too, because she's got those big round full glutes too, right? She's another one. I'm thinking glutes right now because obviously with Amy and Ashley being your front runners here, they got to have some glutes on them in order to be able to stack up and stand next to them. They got to have some glutes on them, right? What do you guys think? Anything else? Any questions? So while I'm waiting for anybody else to type in their thoughts, as I mentioned before, I will be there all weekend. I'm getting there on Thursday. Prejudging for the ladies starts at 3, and then finals is at 7 on Friday. So if they don't have a live stream, I will go live here from YouTube, okay? If they do have a live stream, I won't be able to go live. I looked on Gary Udit's site. There's no live stream being advertised. That doesn't necessarily mean there's not one. They just might not have put it out there yet. So if there is a live stream, I'm not going to be able to go live. If there is not, I will. Okay. If there is a live stream and I can't go live on YouTube, I will do my commentary on Spotify and upload it after the prejudging is done. Okay. So make sure that you're following me on Spotify as well. I will update through Instagram and things like that and let you guys know what the deal is as far as if we're able to go live or if we're not. And then we'll kind of take it from there. Okay. But the girls, the bikini girls are all on Friday. I believe even wellness is too. Wellness is a small lineup. So Friday we got wellness, figure, and bikini. So I think bikini's last. If this is the order, then this is it right here. Okay. There usually is a live stream, but they have not put it out there yet. At least not on the website. So it's not on the website. They're not advertising it yet. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's not one. They just might not have put it out there. They might be trying to sell tickets for the show itself first. And again, if they're not, great, I'll go live. If they are, then I'll do Spotify. Okay. So one way or another, we'll have coverage. I'll have commentary for you. And I'm gonna do the same thing at New York Pro. So again, I don't know if New York has a live stream or not. I'm sure I could figure that out real quick. Let me see. Let me pull up that while we're sitting here. New York usually has a live stream too. So here it is. There's tickets. Don't see anything about a live stream, but I could be wrong. Does anybody know about New York? I'm looking on the site right now and I just don't see. Clicking through everything. Oh, hold on. Live stream. Yep, they have a live stream for New York. So so in that scenario, I won't be able to go live there, but I will. If there's no live stream for Pittsburgh, I will go live for Pittsburgh. Okay. From what I can see, I don't think there is one. But you never know. Never know. All right. Anything else? Anything else you guys got? This is going to be a good show, you guys. And again, I love going to the show. It's right in my backyard, being right up the street, that kind of thing. It's the only show that Jim Mannion actually promotes as the president of the IFBB. So it's a big deal. Everybody goes. It's just always a good time every year. They changed the venue a few years back, which is nice. They used to have it in the Soldiers and Sailors auditorium, which was old, and and the hotel was not connected, so it was terrible if it rained or something like that. Now everything is in the same spot, which is fantastic. So yes, Kelby is competing in the NPC, so give Kelby a big shout out. She's also going to be our photographer for the weekend, so she'll be getting us lots of content. And other than that, guys, I'm just excited to get up there. So I got a long, busy day tomorrow, and then I'll drive up first thing on Thursday. For those of you that saw my stories on Instagram, today's been a little bit wonky because I passed out and hit my head on the floor this morning. Fun times. I'm good now. I'm fine. I last night took an edible to try to go to sleep, and I have not had an edible in almost a year now. And it hit me really, really hard. So when I woke up this morning, my blood pressure dropped while I was trying to make coffee. And next thing I knew, I was on the floor with the coffee pot and coffee grinds on top of me. So it was fun times. My back's all bruised up. All day I've been kind of all over the place. So guys, if I talk to you today and I sound a little bit weird, sorry. My brain's been a little bit loopy. I'm good now. Thank goodness. I was worried. I was worried about getting on this live stream and to know if I could actually string thoughts together, because I was having issues earlier today. Yeah, I'm like, Sunday, I banged my knee up on Sunday. Today, I passed out and hit my back and my head on the floor. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? Let's pray for me, guys. Pray for me. With that said, guys, like I said, pay attention. I'll keep you as updated as I can. We are doing a Behind the Bikini tomorrow. I won't do another live feed this week because I'm going to be at the show this coming weekend. And like I said, if I can go live, I will be. So I'll go live for as much of it as I can. And on that note, here we go. This is going to be a big freaking show. It's going to have huge implications for the Olympia. So I'm just excited to be able to see it there live. And just be up front and center doing my thing. So yes, let's do it. So we've got both Yulia and we've got Kelby on the live side. We don't have Shanika tonight, but that's okay. We got all of our girls going, and it's going to be fun times. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'm excited about it. So hopefully we'll have some good weather too, so we can get lots of outdoor pictures and stuff like that too. And other than that, let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's do this. Have a good time, right? It's going to be a good weekend. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Tune into Behind the Bikini tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have not already, share this with all of your friends so that we can keep building up the channel. I appreciate all of your support as always. And this season is just getting started, right? It's just getting warmed up. So have a great night, you guys. And we'll see you back here next week with wrap-ups of all of this stuff. Fun times. Yes, Yulia's your roommate.